My first memory and learning about domestic violence, I would say the first thing that comes to my mind was seeing a bruise underneath my mom's eye. She came to pick us up from my dad's house one day, and I saw it. I spent a lot of time in my closet to hear the banging on the walls and trying to help my mother hold the door closed, from this person getting in. It terrified me of relationships, honestly. When I gotten older, I had attended a singles conference in Indianapolis, Indiana, and this pastor preached this sermon called The Other Brother. That sermon was from 2 Samuel 13, 1 and 20. And that was the story of Tamar. One of the cool things about the ashes of Tamar being King David's daughter. King David, the man after God's own heart. This is his daughter. She's a princess. And domestic violence, sexual abuse hit her family. And as I sat there and I listened to him, when he got to the very end, he said, "And she remained desolate in her brother Absalom's house." She never came out of her situation. She remained desolate. How do you tell women who have been abused sexually, physically, that God was there and he loves them? It's so important to help women to realize that desolation ain't your destination, because God has so much more. He has so much more for us to do, so many lives to touch because of our stories, because of our testimonies. From that point forward, I just started learning more and more things about myself. And I think moving into that and going into seminary, spiritual formation class, that time of spiritual formation when we had to do our life story. And when we did our life story, I was just digging up all of these things, and I was seeing that domestic violence thing just get even greater. And then I thought about the story of Tamar, and it just kept adding up. That's when things started really to make sense for me when I was in seminary. So there were classes, but then there were people, and people that took real interest in what God was calling me to do. It is important for me to share Tamar's story because there are so many women who remain desolate. There are so many women who don't think that they can live beyond that circumstance, beyond what happened to them in their lives. They just stop. Jesus offers women the opportunity to be reached, to be rescued, and to be restored. That's what it's all about. That's what he does. That's what he does to all of us in all of our situations. He reaches out his hand, he pulls us in, and he loves on us. He loves us back to life.